wanted to go out and do something wrong, like break windows, drive under the influence. Definitely not drive under the influence. Because I wanted to go to sleep like very badly. Like, high sleep is the best sleep ever.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Is we on? All right, brother. That's what's up. All right, so what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. I'm your host, Brother Mike. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Before we go any further, let's welcome our guests. So we'll start with in front of me. Welcome Miss Samantha Dennis. How you doing, Miss Dennis?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Pretty good.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. And beside her, of course, my man, Mr. Jason Gomes.
Hi, everybody.
Jason, how you feeling, man?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? All right. And last but not least, the lovely Miss Janice.
Greetings,
How
greetings.
you doing, Miss Janice?
Wow.
Pretty good?
Very well.
Okay, that's what's up. How was everybody's weekend? Everybody had a good weekend, good week?
Good week, good weekend.
Okay. Anything uneventful?
Anything uneventful?
Nothing to talk about?
We tried this weekend.
Dry this weekend?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about this show. All right, so for those who don't know, this is actually our last show for 2017. This is show number 18, so we're very proud of that. You know what I mean? We're 18 shows in. But this will be the last one for 2017, but we will be returning in January on the 8th, so stay tuned. We will be back. But we're going to take a little break for a while and let everybody enjoy their holiday, so forth and so on. So what we want to do for this show is, the topic is going to be part 2 of the 48 Laws of Power. If you haven't seen the show previous, we started this book, which is 48 Laws of Power, and we were going over some of the laws. So evidently it got so intense that we had to do a second show on this. So today we're going to do part 2 of the 48 Laws of Power. But since it is our last show, we want to, give something to the audience. So we're going to give away a free Black Bottom Man sweatshirt today, hoodie. I believe Miss Dennis has hers on, if you guys can see that. So we're going to give away a Black Bottom Man hoodie today for the lucky caller who can call in and answer our trivia question. So I'll put the phone number out there first. You can call in at 410-702-5657. That's 410-702-5657. So here is the trivia question that the caller will have to answer. What does Black by Demand stand for? What does the black stand for? The by, what does the demand stand for? So that is the question that's on the board. If you feel that you have an answer to that, we will be taking calls in the first half of the show and maybe the second half, depending on how it goes. But those who can answer that question will have a chance of winning a free Black by the Man hoodie. And the hoodies are nice. It's a premium gilding. Yeah, it's legit hoodie, right? Can you turn around again? Let them see that again.
I sure can.
Yeah, the hoodie's legit.
Oh yeah, it's a good quality hoodie.
Oh.
Yes. We don't play around here at Black by the Man. We try to give you a quality product. So so a person can win that. So that's the question at the top of the hour. What does Black by Demand stand for? Let me get set up here. And we'll send out some invites and get the show rolling here. So you guys ready for part 2?
Yes.
Ready for part 2 of the 48 Laws of Power? Ready? Nate, you ready? You ready for part 2, Nate?
He wasn't having it last time.
Part 1? Absolutely.
So this will be part 2, everybody. 48 Laws of Power. Some of these laws you may find to be somewhat disturbing at a minimum. So let me get off this. Why does it keep booting me out here?
Part 1 has some temperatures up there. There was some temperatures rising.
I loved it though. You know what I mean? Like I loved it because, like I said, I definitely don't apply like these laws in my life, but it does help me to look out for people who are applying certain things. It helps to give me an understanding. And I do think it's kind of like a blueprint for a certain, group of people in this society on how they operate.
But some of them, I do apply, but it's indirectly. It's not
Right.
directly. But
Okay.
as you're going over the laws, I mean, there are a few that are familiar to me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't completely foreign to you, huh?
No.
Okay, why my video keep booting me out? What's up, video? We supposed to be friends. Right? Got you. Let me pull this a little closer so everybody can hear me. So y'all can hear Brother Mike, as if my mouth ain't big enough, right?
Seriously.
All right, so just off the top, let's do a quick little recap of. We only went over a couple of the laws, right, on part one. We did more of explaining his preface and trying to give an understanding of how the laws actually work. So off the top, we covered laws 1 through 4. Law number 1 being never outshine the master. Does everybody remember what that was all about?
Mm-hmm.
Any comments about that law? Never outshine the master. Did we like that one?
Not initially. Eventually.
But it makes sense.
Yes.
Like if you have a long-term power goal.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it does make sense. I think it definitely makes sense. All right, so number 2 was never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies.
Oh, we had trouble with that.
Yeah, that one threw me for
That one. I don't think I really like that one.
Yeah,
you
we
know,
stuck
because
on that one a
that's
little
that
bit.
old deception type thing. And I think a lot of these laws do deal with being deceptive. But like Nate was saying on the last show, I guess if it's being applied to a work situation, then maybe you might be able to use it a little bit more. And number 3, conceal your intentions. Now, I thought that one is one that you kind of have to apply sometimes. Like sometimes in life, you have to conceal your intentions.
Right.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. You
Right.
you might be working on a project you want to do yourself. You might just want to just get to a certain point before you tell people. So that one is good. I
Okay.
like that one.
I'm trying to figure out why I keep getting booted out off here. All right, so number 4, always say less than necessary.
I've been working on that one all week.
Right?
That's a tough one, right? That's a tough
I
one.
tend to overshare, so I've been trying to hold back on what I say.
Yes.
Well, I like how in the book, I remember specifically that he did point out that this is unnatural, right? It's unnatural to want to, say less than necessary, especially if you feel that you have good news. You know what I mean?
wanna tell everybody.
Yeah, you want to tell everybody. That's just human instinct. So yeah, that one definitely is going to require some practice. You know what I mean? So forth and so on.
Yeah, but it gets you to thinking because, like I said, I've been working on it all week, and half this week I've been like, I said too much. So
Said too much.
so at least you can practice it.
Get
So.
your REM on. I said too much.
I
No,
definitely-
I haven't said enough.
No, it's more
Y'all
like I
remember that
said too
song with
much.
REM?
It's more on the side.
Facebook ain't playing friendly with me today. Facebook keep booting me out. What's your problem, Facebook? Thought we was friends. Let me see here. So always say less than necessary. We was cool with.
Yes.
We was cool with that. Okay. All right. So again, for anybody who missed it when I first said it, today is our last show of 2017. So as a gift to our audience, we will be giving away a free Black by Demand sweat hoodie to the lucky caller who can call in and answer our trivia question. And the question is, what does Black by Demand stand for? Those words, Black by Demand, each have an individual statement attached to it. So anybody who can tell me that can win the free hoodie. Retail value of $80. We sell them for $60.
Are you trying to get to the comments, Mike?
No, it just keeps booting me off. As I'm sharing here.
Are you trying to get to the Be Exposed page?
Yeah, I'm on Big Exposed Radio.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I got my stuff up. If you need.
Oh, you got your stuff up? Okay, all right, that's what's up. Jason Gomes. That's why Jason's on the team, brother. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, it just keeps on booting me off. Okay. Yeah, it just keeps booting me off, so I'm going to try updating here a little bit. So, yeah, for the lucky caller who calls in, can answer the trivia question, what does Black by Demand stand for, will win a free Black by Demand hoodie. You can call in at 410-702-5657, 410-702-5657, and the question is, what does Black by Demand stand for? Y'all ready to get into some of these other laws?
I'm ready.
You ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Ready to be a little, what's the words I'm looking for? A little challenged.
Yeah, I'm not exactly
A little challenged.
ready for whatever you about to throw out there at us, but
Well, let's get into it.
I'm ready.
So we picking up on number 5, right?
Number 5.
Let's get it. Number 5, 48 Laws of Power. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. Make your reputation unassailable. Always be alert to potential attacks and thwart them before they happen. Meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their own reputation. Then stand aside and let public opinions hang them. Talk to me. Reputation. Do y'all feel reputation is, he says so much depends on it. Guard it with your life.
Reputations is huge.
Everything.
It's huge.
It's huge.
Yes.
How do you know what your reputation is, though? You get what I mean? Like you can know what you can know what you try to give in perception to the public, but how do you know how it's being received? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of times, just by the respect that others show you.
Okay.
You can tell, you can definitely tell, you know what I'm saying, by the respect that you're getting from others. So others will give you feedback on, how they feel about you, and that's only, concerning your reputation.
Okay.
The reputation to me is just a common sense law, because we all know that one without even having to read any power. Because look at the senator, right? You're a senator, you get accused of the sexual allegations, and now
there's a lot of
but that's a problem. So reputation, I mean, like I said, it's just a common sense law that if you have a bad, like if you borrow $100 from everybody and you never give it back, right, and you're known for that, and you ask me for 100, you may give my 100 back, but your reputation shows me your behavior that you don't give it back.
Okay.
So you might feel some type of way, but if you always know this person's always good,
right, the reputation stands for itself.
That was like the first, I guess, example that came into my head is like the bookie that he loans out money and he has a reputation for being a hard ass. Right. And if he doesn't give his money back, he can't be nice to one person and then everybody's gonna think he's just a pushover.
He got cracked some heads.
Right. That was just the first thing that popped into my mind.
Okay, so I'll read what he says the keys to power are. Okay, he says the people around us, even our closest friends, will always to some extent remain mysterious and unfathomable. The characters have secret recesses that they never reveal. The unknowableness, never knew that was a word, of unknowableness of people could prove disturbing if we thought about it long enough, since it would make it impossible for us to really judge people. So we prefer to ignore this fact and, we got a call already, and to judge people on their appearances, what is most visible to our eyes, clothes, gestures, words, so forth and so on. Okay, let's see if we got a call on the line.
Hello?
And I'll finish reading this. Caller, can you hear me? Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Hey, how you doing, man? This is Brother Mike with the Black by the Man radio show.
I can faintly hear you.
Can you hear me a little better?
I can. This is Brother J.R. Clark checking in from Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
J.R., what's up, my brother?
Not too much, man. I'm finally off work on a Monday, so I can tune in live.
Oh, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure, man, to hear from you, brother.
Yeah, so I'll be up there in a week or so. Looking forward to linking up with you if we could. But to answer the question, black is for the people, buy is how we practice group economics, and demand is for prosperity and recognition. Peace to all.
We got a winner already, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man. You made a brother feel good, man. So Jay,
you guys make me feel good, man. I'm proud of you, Big Mike. You already know, man, how far we go back.
Yes, no doubt. So Jay, I'm gonna type in the email here, right? So you can email me your address to send it to and your size.
You breaking up again, Mike? I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, the email is blackbydemand, the number 4, the letter U, @gmail. So you can email me your sweatshirt size.
Okay, or how about this? We can do the rest of the correspondence on the chat, because you keep breaking up, and I don't know if it's me or you. So
okay.
Whatever, that's a small thing. I just wanted to call in support, main thing. But I've been studying you guys, man. I appreciate what you guys are doing, man. God bless everybody.
Brother. That's what's up. So I'll put the information in on the chat so you can email me. I don't know if you heard that part. Okay. All right, we had a winner already. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody's paying attention. If y'all missed it, we can already give away a sweatshirt. Just like that. So Jay gonna get that sweatshirt. That's what's up. So that was so quick, man. I might offer another opportunity, Like, that's what's up, man. I appreciate that. J.R. Clark, everybody, just called in with the answer to the trivia question, what does Black by Demand stand for? Black is for the people, buy is how we practice group economics, and the demand is for prosperity and recognition, and the brother just called in and gave us that off the top.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. So we got a winner already of a BBD sweatshirt. So maybe we'll offer another chance for somebody to win a sweatshirt. We'll think of another trivia question on break, and maybe we'll give out 2 of them today. Okay. Right off the bat, JR got it. That's what's up. Appreciate that.
Game show on here.
Yeah, right.
Sweatshirts today.
Giving out BBD sweatshirts. I got to make sure I text that into
Let
it.
me know when you're giving us some cash.
All right, so I'll keep on reading here. It says, he says, so we prefer to ignore this fact and to judge people on their appearances, what is most visible to our eyes. Clothes, gestures, words, and actions. In the social realm, appearances are the barometer of almost all of our judgments. You must never be misled into believing otherwise. One false slip, one awkward or sudden change in your appearance can prove disastrous. This is the reason for the supreme importance of making and maintaining a reputation that is of your own creation. That reputation will protect you in the dangerous game of appearances, distracting the probing eyes of others from knowing what you are really like and giving you a degree of control over how the world judges you. A powerful position to be in. Reputation has a power like magic. With one stroke of its wand, it can double our strength. It can also send people scurrying away from you. Whether the exact same deeds appear brilliant or dreadful can depend entirely on the reputation of the doer. Now that's true. You know what I mean? Because certain people can do things to you and you can take it in an offensive way, but then someone else would have done it and you just kind of would have blew it off. So he says reputation is a treasure to be carefully collected and hoarded, especially when you are first establishing it. You must protect it strictly, anticipating all attacks on it. Once it is solid, do not let yourself get angry or defensive at the slanderous comments of your enemies. That reveals insecurity, not confidence in your reputation. Take the high road instead and never appear desperate in your self-defense. Reputation depends on everything. What do y'all think on that?
Yep.
Thoughts?
I think it's right. I'm with it.
Finally, what we all agree on.
We all agree on that? Let me text in here. And then we'll go over the next one here. Bear with me a second here, folks. We're at the Black Body Man radio show.
Yeah, you definitely have to guard your reputation. You got to guard that with your life.
I've never really thought too much about reputation until, like, kind of reading over this book a little bit. Because, like, I don't even know what my reputation is. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I know who I am, but, like, I don't know how other people, like, look at me or perceive it or whatever. I try to be an Honest Abe type cat, you know what I mean? And like, I try not to do things to people I don't want done to me.
Right. I think a lot on my reputation. I think you have to have a good reputation.
Right.
I've had several people call me in the past, like, I just had to check this one thing with you because I heard such and such said, and I just had to check with you because it just didn't sound like it.
Okay.
So that's because of my
what
reputation.
They heard wasn't fitting your reputation.
Right.
Okay.
And 9 times out of 10, yeah, they're right. Yeah, right. So
I think if anything in my reputation is probably a reputation of being brutally honest. Like, I may need to learn to tone my honesty down, like we were saying on the last episode.
I was going to say, didn't they say something
like
that?
Yeah, because, like, I probably have that reputation. I just tend to tell the truth. I save my lies for important shit. I tell everybody else the truth. Like, I ain't lying to you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Learned a long time ago to tell people what they want to hear.
Yeah, so I got to learn to do that. You know what I mean? Because I just, You know, I get stuck on stupid sometimes, I guess. Like,
Some
yo, do I
people-
look funny in this? Yeah. I mean, no, you look all right. You get what I'm saying?
Telling
Like, I got to
people-
learn that tactfulness, you know. That I still got to, you know, get to that level.
Telling the truth is going to leave you in a group all by yourself.
All by myself. They're going to be like, he too truthful. Don't nobody want to hear that mess.
Everybody wants to hear what they want.
Everybody won't be lied to. They won't be butted up. And, oh, you're the
We'll find
best.
the conversation if
I always laugh.
want to hear.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I always laugh when people say that. Like, oh, I just want somebody to tell me the truth. It's like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Nope.
No, you don't. You don't
No,
want
you
that.
don't.
Nobody
No, you
wants
don't.
the truth.
Nobody wants the truth.
There's very few people that can really deal with that.
People
Right.
can't even handle the truth. Half
Right.
The time.
They can't. They cannot.
Yeah, and that is true. That is true. I definitely have observed that. Like, people really ain't interested in that.
Or the classic, this will show. I don't care what people think about me. Oh, you don't, huh?
Ooh, and that one's going to come
Okay.
up later, too.
Yeah.
Remember that statement you just
Yeah.
said, because that will be coming up later on in the
I don't
show.
even say that no more because you know that's a defense mechanism when you go. You know, well, we'll save it, but people say that, but they don't believe that.
Right. Got you. Okay. So we believe that reputation is of importance?
Very much
All
so.
right. That's law number 5. So let's do law number 6. Court attention at all cost. See what he's saying on this. Everything is judged by its appearance. What is unseen counts for nothing. Never let yourself get lost in the crowd, then or buried in oblivion. Stand out. Be conspicuous at all costs. Make yourself a magnet of attention by appearing larger, more colorful, more mysterious than the bland and the timid masses. Keys to power. Burning more brightly than those around you is a skill that no one is born with. You have to learn to attract attention as surely as the lodestone attracts iron. At the start of your career, you must attach your name and reputation to a quality, an image that sets you apart from other people. This image can be something like a characteristic style of dress or a personality quirk that amuses people and gets talked about. Once the image is established, you have an appearance and a place in the sky for your star. It is a common mistake to imagine that this peculiar appearance of yours should not be controversial, that to be attacked is somehow bad. Nothing could be further from the truth. To avoid being a flash in the pan and having your notoriety eclipsed by another, you must not discriminate between different types of attention. In the end, every kind will work in your favor. Court attention at all costs. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I mean, what do y'all think? Do you think you should court attention?
Always.
Always?
Yes.
Okay, well, can you tell me a little bit about that?
It's just, you're just going to remember me when I'm gone.
Okay. This kind of goes back to, remember the thing with the interviews, they remember the first and the last person?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess that could fit in there. But Jason, what you think as a guy, man? You want to court attention? Now, I noticed they specifically said something about style of dress, and that happens to be what you mentioned a couple times.
Well, situational, like, so if I'm in a dangerous neighborhood, I'm not going to court attention. You know
Right,
what I mean?
okay.
If I'm, but,
Yeah, you might not want that attention.
Yeah, but if you're talking about like showing up somewhere, being dressed nicely, maybe greeting people properly, you know, making everyone, like, I noticed that, like, let's say President Obama, his skill was that if he walked in this room, he's going to look all of us in our eyes and shake our hands and remember all of your names. So he's still courting attention because you're going to say, oh, he was a nice guy. Yeah, he was this and that. So I believe he is, but who knows what it is behind, you know, closed doors. But I'm trying to say, like, that type of courting attention, but I'm not going to just be out, just look at me with green hair.
Okay.
But there's nothing wrong with green hair. I'm just saying I'm not going to, you know, for anybody who got green hair.
Everybody got
there,
green hair. You cool. You good.
And even still, courting attention. You could be up for a promotion. There's 5 names with yours.
Okay.
A lot of times when you're picking who you're going to go with, half the time, if you're sitting there, you're going to be like, I don't know who that person is. I don't know who that person is. These 2 people I know. You're going to choose between somebody you know.
Okay.
So you have to.
Court attention.
Yes.
Miss Dennis?
I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, I guess it just depends on the kind of attention that you want to get and what you're putting out there, to get that attention, whether it be something respectable versus something.
Well, you know, he is saying, let me read this to you again, right? He says it's a common mistake to imagine that this peculiar appearance of yours should not be controversial, that it is not to be attacked or viewed as being bad. He said nothing can be further from the truth. Get the attention even if it's bad attention.
So they're saying like good or publicity is good either. Like
I think that's what he's getting at, like some paparazzi type
like
stuff.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Rather they catch you, take a picture of you eating dinner or scuba diving butt naked, it's all going to bring you attention, right? So I think that might be what he's getting at on that. Me personally, I don't try to court attention. You understand what I mean? I mean, I do believe that you should explore your talents and scare yourself sometimes and do things that you might not have normally done within your character. But as far as courting attention, I've kind of always been the opposite of that. I know that seems a little ironic, being that I'm the host of the show, but this is a show. You get what I'm saying?
That is a direct contradiction from the 6th to the 5th law. If you go back one. Because if your reputation's everything, but yet you do things, you come off as an asshole.
Right.
How are you gonna that's now messing with your reputation?
Now you just revealed a secret about this book, right? That I was actually gonna get to later, but I'll say it now because Jason just brought it up. This book has a lot of contradictions. One law will tell you to do something one way, and then another law will tell you to do something another way. Now, I wasn't going to mention it until the end, right? But Jason had already picked up on it. Okay, so the author's take on that is he's showing you both sides, and then you choose which.
That's what I was going to say.
Right, which fits you. So are you the one that's going to court attention at all costs, or are you the one that's going to guard your reputation at all costs and make sure you don't court attention, like you were saying, the wrong way? So it's a lot of contradictions in these 48 laws, and that's one of the secrets of the book. It's not to be read and thinking that you apply all this. It's for you to pick and choose what fits what you're trying to achieve and then who you are as a person. Yeah, so I got to ring the bell on that because I didn't think I was going to get to that till later, but as you guys can see, Jason's a pretty sharp tool, okay? So Jason already figured that out. But Jason, you're absolutely right, brother. It got contradictions in there. Yes, it does.
Yeah, you just have to remember, everybody's not going to be good. Everybody's not going to be bad. So
yeah, it
has to be for both.
It's almost like blue pill, red pill. Like some of these laws are blue pills. Some of these laws are red pills, right? You got to kind of pick which one you want to roll with. But I do get what he's saying about any attention can be, beneficial to you if that's what you out seeking. But me personally, I don't want to court attention at all costs. I mean, how you guys feel? Is there something you would imply in your life, or just you can rationalize with it from hearing the law? But other than that, it's probably staying right there.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of times, even like at work, we can all be in a group. We're choosing cast member of the month. Okay, we have 6 nominees in front of us.
Okay.
It's hard when you don't know anything about 2 of them. Like, you know absolutely nothing. So it's hard to pick them as a winner. So you have to court some attention.
Yeah, and I guess
even if you're out there just going above and beyond and whatever you're doing, you're courting attention, but you have to court some type of attention.
Okay.
We have to know we need to know who you are.
So this law can be doable.
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, let's move on. Let's court some attention. BBD radio show. All right, law number 7. Now, this one, I didn't like this one. Let me just tell you this right off the back. I don't apply this, but here we go. Law number 7 says, get others to do the work, but always take the credit. That's horrible. Use wisdom, knowledge, and legwork of other people to further your own cause. Not only will such assistance save you valuable time and energy, it will give you a godlike aura of efficiency and speed. In the end, your helplessness will be forgotten and you will be remembered. Never do yourself what others can do for you. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that one.
Isn't that what all the big wigs do?
I'm sure.
Sit up in their offices and let everybody do the work and take the credit?
And that's probably why I don't like it, because I ain't a big wig.
Work smarter, not harder.
So I'm always on the end of get the credit taken from me. Yeah, I don't really care for that one, because I believe that, you should credit people for what they do. I think it empowers people and it makes them feel appreciated. So if if you're on my team and you do something and then we go win an award for what you did. I'm going to credit you for that. I'm not going to get up there knowing that, Jason did all the work, right? And I'm just going to get up there and be like, oh, man, I worked so hard on this, and I just want to thank God, and I want to thank my mom, and, they get up there and thank everybody except the people. Jason in the background looking like, now this dude know I did that and he didn't do that. I couldn't do that. I would have to say, I accept this award, thank you, but let me bring out the man who made this happen.
You say that now, but I don't believe that.
You don't believe that?
Down to it, no, because I think it's just like a natural pecking order. Like if you're the head of a company and Jason is below you, Jason know he's not getting credit for whatever he did. He know that as the leader of whatever y'all are doing, you're going to take that credit. It may come down appreciative later in the line, but in that moment, you're not going to say nothing about Jason.
I think I will.
I don't think so.
I think I will. Because I wouldn't want that done to me. Now, you got to remember my previous statement that I just said. I try not to do things to people. I try. That I don't want done to me. So I'm not going to steal it. But you're right. That is kind of how it works in the business world. So I get it.
You can play with people if you want, because let me tell you, there's something, and we'll probably get into this later because I kind of brought up the mic. It's people, mastermind groups, right? So you never give me my credit.
Right.
I know that your partner doesn't like you. See, because I'm smart too.
Right. Right.
So I know your partner doesn't like you. I know all these workers follow me because I'm under you, but they're under me.
Right, right.
So I can present you, I have access to all of your information, so I can present you problems now. Maybe I just don't give a whatever, and just, you know what? So this book doesn't account for the intelligence or the cunning or thinking of the next person,
right?
Because you might think you're the example last week. Someone did something, but I knew everything, but I just sit and watched and just kind of laughed. But in their mind, they thought they got over. I just said,
okay.
Right.
You played the 48 laws of power,
so
right?
That's what I'm saying. So it's hard to know. I mean, you think about relationships. The guy may be stepping out, but the woman's just looking at him. He think he being slick, coming home, he done showered somewhere.
Goddamn Jason.
She just looking, collecting. Woman, look, they gonna collect all the evidence. So when it's time,
don't even say nothing about it.
Don't even say nothing about
it. Just be looking at you. You think you doing something. That's why I said, I'm gonna give people their credit because to be honest, I'm not going to be looking over my shoulder in my circle.
And I want to keep you on the team and keep you doing well. So, we give people that credit. But I do think that majority of the world probably does it the way Samantha said it, which is they're going to strip it.
I feel like that's just what happens.
Right, yeah. So I'll read his keys to power on it, right? He says the world of power has the dynamic of a jungle. There are those who live by hunting and killing, and there are also vast numbers of creatures like hyenas and vultures who live off the hunting of others. These latter, less imaginative types are often incapable of doing work that is essential for the creation of power. They understand early on, though, that if they wait long enough, they can always find another animal to do the work for them. Don't be naive. At this very moment, while you are slaving away on some project, there are vultures circling above, trying to figure out a way to survive and even thrive off your creativity. It is useless to complain about this or to wear yourself ragged with bitterness. Better to protect yourself and join the game. Once you have established a power base, become a vulture yourself and save yourself a lot of time and energy. So that's his take on it. So that fits in with what you were saying, this vulture mentality. But yeah, I probably would struggle with that one a little bit because I like empowering people. I like giving people their credit for what they did. I don't mind laying in the cut and being humble. I think it's good for my soul. It's good for my spirit to not steal your joy from you. So that's interesting.
This book doesn't take account for advances in technology. Because power used to be separate from. It's not so separate anymore. You can be touched,
right?
Because Harvey Weinstein wouldn't have been touched 20 years ago,
right?
Because you could control the. I have this, so if I find something right now, I can snap it, send it to someone. But the world wasn't like that before, so that's why I said this. If you're going to be living by these rules hard, you're going to run into a lot of issues. This book actually has to be tweaked for. Technology and how the world kind of present day because this is that old. It still works.
Aristocratic court. That's what he said at the beginning of the book. Aristocratic court.
Some of the rules actually still apply.
Yeah.
But some of them have to be tweaked for technology and like current.
And you know who's using these rules still sitting at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but those days seem to become. Look how they're dropping like flies.
I hope so.
But
I hope them days is coming to an end.
But they're dropping. They're still because you can't do anything anymore.
Right.
You screw somebody. Right. They can tape it or they put you right on Facebook.
True that.
In 5 minutes.
All right, well, we're going to go take our first commercial break. Stay tuned with us, Black by the Man radio show. Last show of 2017. We've already given away a free Black by the Man hoodie. Stay with us, call in, participate. We'll be back after this.
Exposed Radio.
Yeah.
We do that.
Certain things for everybody.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
There's a time and a place for everything. Maybe if I'm sitting down, reading a book, and then I'm like, all right, cool. Let me throw this Lupe on, get this real lyrical going on, and maybe I see a whole nother side of something. But if I'm sitting down with a bottle, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Like, you might turn on the right Lupe song, you feel me? And because I'm drunk, I'm going to get lit for it. Right. But, yeah, for the most part.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Shepsworth Bentley. And make sure you guys check out Homegrown Radio every Sunday, 7 to 8 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com. It's new, fresh, Baltimore radio.
Business owners need more customers? Offer fantasy sports contests and generate more sales. Restaurants, bars, hotels, auto dealerships, real estate offices. Whatever your business, fantasy sports contests can help you increase your sales and bring you more loyal customers. Visit Fanify.com or call 888-55-SPORT. Our software lets you customize contests fast and easy for your brand. That's right. Visit Fanify.com or call 888-55-SPORT. That's 888-55-SPORT or visit Fanify.com.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
Because they're good at itemizing their time, and they actually have a passion for what they do. One of the biggest lessons that I learned, I get to say this on Weird, was finding people who are not only interested in doing what you need to get done, but people who have a passion for it. Because that will eliminate the idea of people just working for a paycheck. Right. Because when people sign up for a paycheck, we all had jobs where we slacked off, where we stole away in a little storage room.
Fell asleep.
Thank you.
I saw a meme the other day that had Bart Simpson and the little boy with the glasses. I didn't watch the show, so don't be mad at me. Don't send me no daggum messages. The little boy with the glass, Millhouse, that was his name. He's showing him a cave, and it says, when you're asked to show around the new coworker, and it says, this is where I come to cry. Cool.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
How did you know that this is what you wanted to do as far as being a singer or entertainer?
It's always been in me. It's always been a part of who I am since a child. Since a child, I've always gotten karaoke boxes, and I've always learned this song and solos in school and all of those things. And I met my Reflections actually in high school, and we were singing and we were singing back then, choral music.
Douglas High School.
Yes, quack, come on through here. So
2 G's in a day pass.
Okay, 2 G's in a bus pass, baby. It
used to be, of course.
It was destined. I feel like it was destined. My whole family sings. Everyone in my circle sings. It's like I just couldn't get away from it. I'm always gonna sing.
Where did your personality come from? Are you always this crazy?
Yes.
Yes. Crazy.
Right. I woke up like this. Okay. And went to sleep like it too.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Black by the Man radio show. I'm your host, Brother Mike. And we are going over part 2 of from the first show, 48 Laws of Power. And we've already given away a BBD sweatshirt today. So we're going to give you guys another trivia question on the second half of the show and give someone else a chance to call in and answer the trivia question and win a free Black by the Man sweatshirt hoodie. Because the first one went quick. Mr. J.R. Clark, again, congratulations.
That was like
JR called in and answered the question of what does Black by Demand stand for. So at the top of the show, we had a winner. And that makes us feel good, real good, because our audience is interacting with us. Okay, so I want to read a couple of comments here. So Jared Johnson, what's up, Jared? How you doing, my brother? Jared says that this book tells you to throw your so-called morality away. Yes, it pretty much does, Jared. Especially if you're going to try to, use this in life. You definitely got to put some of your morality to the side. I'm not sure that I can personally do that, because I just got, certain rules I abide by. But it definitely does that, because it seems to be a lot of deception. Like I said, when I first started reading the book and learned about it, I felt like it was a blueprint on the way certain people operate. And, if you give it enough thought, you can figure out who them people are. But I digress.
Well, maybe that's who the book was written for.
Right. Oh, it definitely was. The first clue was when it says aristocratic court. Yeah. You know what I mean? And being a courtier. He's a courtier. All right, so let's move on to law number 8. Oh, God. All right, law number 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you force the other person to act, you are the one in control. It is always better to make your opponent come to you. Abandoning his own plans in the process. I like to say process. Process? Yeah, because that's how the English people say it. You know how we say process? They be like process. Process. Okay, so I'm gonna say process. Lure him with fabulous gains, then attack. You hold the cards. So let me hit you with his keys to power. He says, in the realm of power, you must ask yourself, what is the point of chasing here and there, trying to solve problems and defeat my enemies if I never feel in control? Why am I always having to react to events instead of directing them? The answer is simple. Your ideal of power is wrong. You have mistaken aggressive action for effective action. And most often, the most effective action is to stay back, keep calm, and let others be frustrated by the traps you lay for them. Playing for the long-term power rather than the quick victory. Remember, the essence of power is the ability to keep the initiative, to get others to react to your moves, to keep your opponent and those around you on the defensive. When you make other people come to you, you suddenly become the one controlling the situation, and the one who has control has power. 2 things must happen to place you in this position. You yourself must learn to master your emotions, true, and never be influenced by anger. Meanwhile, however, you must play on people's natural tendency to react angrily when pushed and baited. In the long run, the ability to make others come to you is a weapon far more powerful than any tool of aggression. Dun, dun, dun. So this is another one that's like, I've never done this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how to do this. You know what I mean? I don't know how to do this. But, talk to me. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. Any examples? Are y'all familiar with this? Crickets. Everybody's over here on pause.
This would be good if I use it in a business context. Like if you rappers do it all the time. You get your mixtape popular, and then what happens? The record label comes to you.
True. Okay.
But well, you can still use it in business if you're really good at something, and then the other person needs help, so they would have to come to you too.
Okay.
So
I'll tell you the part that I liked. I liked when he said, "Why am I always having to react to events instead of directing them?" Now, I think that's a good question. You know what I mean? Right. Because when you react to events, it's somebody else who was in control of that event. So why are we always the ones reacting to the event instead of actually directing it? So I thought that was a good question. At a minimum, that made me think. And he says, the simple answer is your ideal of power is wrong. Because we have to keep in mind this is about power, right? This is about accumulating power.
It happens in relationships.
In relationships?
Yeah, I have that visual in my mind of a woman that's beefing with her man. She's not gonna say nothing. She can wait for you to come to her. That way she has the upper hand.
Okay, now this definitely seems like something that women would be good at.
That's the image. I didn't want to put it out there, but
yeah, this does seem like something that women would be good at, because men, we some of us think we good at, hiding stuff, but we usually wear it on our sleeves.
Yeah.
But that's why I really didn't even have a response for that, because in my mind I'm thinking like people they already come to me. I don't I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, that's what I said.
They already come.
I'm not
when I say
familiar
make
with
people
this
come to you, it wasn't a thing of me making nobody come. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I've never even thought this way before. Like my thought process doesn't even doesn't even work that way. You know, like I've never thought like, yeah, I'm gonna use some bait and then lower this person in. I've never done that in my life, so this is kind of new to me. But it seems very, very deceptive. I guess
So
that
even
goes
with
back to the morality thing.
And then even with the things that you've used for people to come to you, I mean, you wasn't really thinking of it like I'm gonna use this as bait to get this person to come. To me, is in your mind you just doing something you need to do that's necessary at the time.
Well, in my mind, I would be presenting it to the person as to how it could benefit them.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Saying, look, if you do this with me, this is what I can get off of it. This is what you can get off of it. But I've never done like the bait thing, because bait is exactly that. It's bait. You know what I mean? Like you throwing something out there that might not be real. It's like fishing. Like when that fish bites that worm, he thought it was just a worm in the water. He didn't know it was a hook in it that's about to cause him to lose his life, right? That's why they call it bait. So I'm saying I have never baited anybody.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. When you're sitting here reading these laws in the book, I'm just like, I mean, like some of the things people just do naturally. So now, people have to rethink what they're doing out here because...
Well, I tell you, it would be sad. I like how Nate has said that this was kind of like some hood people, it sounds like, right? So it might be some people living by these rules and ain't even getting no power out of it. You just cruddy. Right? You know what I'm saying? At least get some power out of it if you're going to be doing it. But yeah, I'm not feeling that one at all. I'm not feeling that one at all. I don't want to be regarded as a deceptive person that uses bait to lure people in.
Get what you want.
I'm a Scorpio. I don't even think that's in Scorpios. We brutally honest.
Like I'm a hold on to this.
I don't even know how to lie. I'd have to cover my mouth if you asked me something. Do I look fat in this dress? I'm because I'm so used to just answering, right?
Yes,
I have to cover my mouth. Yeah, I'm about to cover my mouth, so I know this won't work for me. So, Brother Mike is giving a thumbs down on that one. How y'all feel? Thumbs down, thumbs up.
Make other people come to. I don't know.
Okay.
No comment.
I think that shows that you have the upper hand.
It shows the upper hand.
Yeah. No comment.
All right. How about this one? Now, this one I like. I like this one. So we'll just move on to number 9. So number 9 says, win through actions, never through argument. Any monetary triumph you think you have gained through argument is really a Pyrrhic victory. Pyrrhic. I never heard that word in my life, so I had to look that up, right? So evidently a Pyrrhic victory is a victory that inflicts such a devastating toll on the victor that it is tantamount to defeat. Victorious in some way, though the heavy toll negates a true sense of achievement. There's a lot of pompous words in this book. The resentment and ill will you stir up is stronger and lasts longer than any monetary change of opinion. It is much more powerful to agree with you through your actions without saying a word. Demonstrate, do not explicate, which means to analyze and develop in detail. Now, I do like that one. Yeah. I do like that one. I don't think I'm a master of it.
No, I don't think I'm a master of it.
But I aspire to be this way one day,
I think it's good.
You like that one?
Yeah, because it's basically it's just shut up and do it.
Right. Don't win through argument. And I don't think it's natural because it's hard not to argue with somebody who's trying to argue with you, getting on your nerves or whatever. I'll read the keys to power though. So, break. Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to the next break. I'll read the keys to power when we come back. All right. Stay tuned.
Check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show. So, since we're talking about the book, can you give people a synopsis of what the book is and what's the name of the book again, and then what it's about?
The name of the book is From Trial to Afflictions. More than one, because there were more than one afflictions.
Yes.
The book is talking about, actually, it's my life story. And I have to add in there that when that prophet told me, he said, tell your story, write the story. He said, and God said, tell your addiction. Now, see, I'm not going to tell the addiction because you have to get the book to read it. But it was about deliverance. Mm-hmm. It was about all the trials and tribulations we go through, people that come into our life, even people that come to try and break you down or draw you down so that you can't stand for God or worship him through your situation, because that's the adversary using them. We have to know that. But through it all, I was still praying and fasting. I needed help from God. I really did. I needed help from God to see me through. And for anyone that's going through, I say that this book is about different afflictions.
Yes.
Going through them, how you get through them. And I had a sister pushing me too, praying for me. I thank God for that again.
Yes.
But it also talks about deliverance. There is deliverance in the process.
Yes.
And you have to be willing to see yourself first, to know that you need deliverance.
Yeah.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com. Check out what you missed on Be Exposed Radio.
It doesn't say alleged anywhere in here.
This is the wrong song to play underneath this topic.
They're saying 4 years ago, according to a $20 million lawsuit, the plaintiff, who was also not named, met Charlie Sheen in Las Vegas on April the 1st, 2011. The sleeve suit claimed that Sheen entered into a nefarious plot designed to lure plaintiffs into a luxurious hotel room to serve his I can't say that word.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Just a bit outside radio show.
There is one glaring stat.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. I'm your host, Brother Mike. So this is part 2 of 48 Laws of Power, which is a book that we covered some of the laws that we thought was interesting and try to get a take on if this is something we would apply or we just think this is garbage, so forth and so on. So we were reading law number 9, which is win through actions and never through argument. So I was going to read his keys to power. So he says, in the realm of power, you must learn to judge your moves by their long-term effects on other people. The problem in trying to prove a point or gain a victory through argument is that in the end, you can never be certain how it affects other people that you are arguing with. They may appear to agree with you politely, but inside they may resent you, or perhaps something you said inadvertently even offended them. Words have that insidious ability to be interpreted according to the other person's mood and insecurities. Even the best argument has no solid foundation, for we have all come to the distrust the slippery nature of words. And days after agreeing with someone, we often revert to our old opinion out of sheer habit. Understand this. Words are a dime a dozen. Everyone knows that in the heat of an argument, we will say anything to support our case. We will quote the Bible. We will refer to unverifiable statistics. Who can be persuaded by bags of air like that? Action and demonstration are much more powerful and meaningful. The truth is generally seen and rarely heard. Now, that's deep. The truth is genuinely seen and rarely heard. What do y'all think about not winning through argument? Like, I like it.
Everybody knows
I like
action
it. I have
speaks
to
louder
it.
than words.
Right. So that's what this is. The old action speaks louder than words, right? But this goes back to what he was saying in some of the other laws about controlling your emotions, right? Because an argument is based on emotions. You know, someone is disagreeing with you that has brought out some emotions in you. And of course, we're all victims of arguing and trying to support, you know, whatever it is we're trying to say. But is that something we should work towards, you know, gaining more control over? I mean, I know I personally do. Not that I'm running around arguing with people, but I still would like to be, you know, a little more composed when someone is getting me upset, because that's the real trick. Like, it's easy to be composed and you don't care about the argument. You understand what I mean? You kind of just going back and forth with somebody. But when it's something passionate,
and it's touched you,
yeah, and it's touched you, right? That gets a little, you know, that can get a little heated. So he's saying it's in that moment that you have to seize the control and just let your actions do it. I think that's easier said than done, but y'all tell me.
I think I try to make a conscious effort more so now. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm arguing with somebody and it's something that I've done, and if they tell me that they have an issue with, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
I don't even want to address how you feel about me or what I've done. I don't like to keep dwelling on it. I feel like it doesn't make no sense for me to keep sitting here talking about it. If you feel some type of way, well then let me show you versus sitting here and keep talking about it and not changing nothing.
Okay. All right. So you're going to win through actions.
Right. I'll make you eat your words based off me doing what you said I wasn't going to do.
Okay, yeah, that's a good example. Right. Okay, that's a good example. That's a good example. Mr. Jason Gomes, do you prefer to win through actions or arguments?
That's the only way to actually win.
True. That's what he's getting at.
I mean, yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about it, but that's the only way to really win because I don't even. When you do something, people can actually see. So, like, I can say I'm going to pick up these headphones, but when I do it, you see it's picked up.
Right.
That's it.
That's
so
it.
It's simple and plain. You just got to do what you. Winning through actions is better. Because even if you win through an argument, like, he's right. That person could be resenting you. They might have just told you it's fine to your face, but it ain't fine.
Right.
They may just not be a person who likes confrontation.
Right. I think he's getting at, like, even if you win, it's just not a good look for you. And you never know what it's doing to the people who was listening to the argument, saw your actions, so forth and so on. Because, like, I think we all do like having arguments, especially if we think we can win. You know what I mean? Like, I've walked away from arguments before and thought about some other shit I should have said. You know what I mean? While the argument was popping off, like, oh, I should have hit him with that. So I know I'm far from, having some control, but I guess, I have to work on that. But you know what I mean? No, like, you walk away like, I should have said something about his sister. I wasn't even thinking. I'm going to get him next time. It'd be so good. It'd be true shit. You think of that true shit when you leave. I should have said something about his eye. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a glass eye, right? You get to say some true stuff. And that's how you know you hurt by the argument.
But at the end of the argument, what did you accomplish?
Nothing. Made yourself look bad. That's all it's ever done to me. Like, my personal experience, I've had arguments with people. And like then afterwards, I didn't feel good. You know what I mean? Even if I knew I had valid grounds and, might even felt like I won the argument, but I still felt like that person won because they got me out of my character.
And now he has a nickname named Fetty Wap. Now the whole hood knows.
Right. You understand what I'm saying?
He look at you every time he sees you.
Exactly. I say something about your eye. So yeah, I never felt good after an argument. I never felt good. So that's something I definitely would, want to try to learn to do better with. But I don't get a lot of practice because I don't get a lot of arguments.
Half the time you have to stop to even rethink, like, what are we arguing about? Like, half the
you
time,
get lost and you're going back and forth.
You're going back and forth and you're like, I'm in an argument over something that you made up in your head. Like,
So we like this one?
Yes.
We like number 9?
Yes, went through actions, yes.
Okay. Went through actions, never through argument. Okay, yeah, I like that one. I'm going to work on that one. I'm going to try to be a little more stealth. All right, so let's move on. Law number 10. Law number 10 is infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you are only precipitating your own disaster. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune onto themselves. They will also draw it onto you. Associate with happy people and fortunate instead.
That's situational because what if you just live with a person that's unhappy,
right?
And you got to come home
and deal with that.
Okay. And you say you can't move out tomorrow, so
that's not that easy.
That's not that easy.
All right, let's read his keys to power. Excuse me. Okay. All right, I see it. All right, keys to power. Those misfortunate among us who have been brought down by circumstances beyond their control deserve all the help and sympathy we can give them. But there are others who are not born to misfortune or unhappiness, but who draw it upon themselves by their destructive actions and unsettling effects on others. It would be a great thing if we could raise them up, change their patterns, But more often than not, it is their patterns that end up getting inside and changing us. The reason is simple. Humans are extremely susceptible to moods, emotions, and even the ways of thinking of those with whom they spend their time. The incurably unhappy and unstable have a particularly strong infecting power because their characters and emotions are so intense. They often present themselves as victims, making it difficult at first to see their miseries as self-inflicted. Before you realize the real nature of their problems, you have been infected by them. So he says, understand this. In the game of power, the people you associate with are critical. The risk of associating with affectors is that you will waste valuable time and energy trying to free yourself. Through a kind of guilt by association, you will also suffer in the eyes of others. Never underestimate the dangers of infection. Everybody know infectious people?
Yes.
So, do y'all think you think he has some merit in this?
Yes.
I think so too. I mean, it sounds harsh, you know what I mean, but there are people who tend to draw, destructive things into their life through their actions, right? And I try to stay clear of them people if I think that that's how they get down.
There are a lot of people that are reckless.
Right. I think we have them in families. You know what I mean? Like everybody got family members where when the family's going to do something, somebody says, is Uncle Louie coming? Because if he's coming, I'm not going. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's an infectious person. You get what I'm saying? Where people are already concerned about this person showing up because of the vibe that they have with them.
Not even that. If you know a person live a reckless lifestyle, you put yourself in that situation. Just like if a person, oh, can you give me a ride down such and such? Like, you're not going? Like, no. Where is that, first of all? Like, no. So you have to be careful of putting yourself in situations because you have to be careful of reckless people.
Some people are just always down. Like, I know people that, I know everybody approaches things differently, but like with me, I'm not going to, burden your day with what's going on with me. So I could be having the worst day ever. But you run into me like, hey, Mike, how you doing? Oh, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Maintaining. I'm chilling. I'm not going to be like, oh, man, I woke up this morning, they took my car. I got suspended from a job yesterday. My dog got testicular cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people do that. You know what I mean? Some people do that. Like, I've had that happen before.
You're not going to a party with somebody who get arrested at every party they go to.
Right.
Like, you're not going.
So what about like Jason was saying, when it's like a close family member or like your best friend and you just have never had the strength to say, listen, some of that stuff that happens with you, I think you're drawing it in. You know what I mean? By, your behavior. How do you deal with that?
You have to tell them. If they continue to do it, then you just have to cut your ties with them. If it's going to bring recklessness to your life.
Well, that's true. Well, he was saying sometimes you don't even know you've been affected.
Right. Sometimes you don't know you've been affected, and you getting up every day with the same moods and attitudes just like that person. But eventually, I mean, it has to come to you like, why am I so moody every day? Like, why I have this bad attitude? Like, there's nothing wrong with me.
You got to cut those people out your life.
You do.
Right.
It's not going to do nothing for you.
That's one thing.
Easier said than done, though, right?
It's one thing if somebody has an unfortunate situation.
Right. That's what he was saying. Those people deserve
like
help.
That's different. It's unfortunate.
But he's talking about the ones who got that.
Bring it on themselves every single day.
Like I can give you an example off the top of my head. Maybe you guys can relate to this. Do you know anybody that, like, every time you go out to eat with them, they always got a problem with the food? Something's always wrong. To a point where you don't even be wanting to go with that person. You get what I'm saying? Because you like, nah, I'm not going to eat with them. Wow. Because, man, he got a problem with the food. Every time we got to talk to the manager, either food's going to get sent back. Like, I ain't seen him, accept the meal for what it was yet. So that's what kind of, like, comes to my mind. You know what I mean? And that person can become infectious because once he get to complaining, the next thing you know, the person beside him like, well, I don't think my rice is cooked either. Like,
right, exactly.
Here we go. Right.
And now, at one point, the whole table sending their food back. Right?
Yes. So that's just kind of what pops in my head. I've been around people like that before, where they just never satisfied with
that's
the
a good
food
example.
brought to
And
it.
I can't eat with them because your chicken gonna come back real tender because that chef
I'm trying to tell you. I do not send no food back. I just tell them I don't want it. They're like, you want us to remake it? No, I'm good. I'll just have a beer. I'm straight. I've seen documentary with chefs, and they do not like when that food comes back. They look at it like, how dare you? I went to Cordon Bleu. You're just a customer. You don't even know what it's supposed to taste like. They get offended, you know. So if I send it back, you can keep it. I'll just order something else. Just give me the cookies. I'll just eat the cookies, right? So,
some people just have bad
so how we feel about this? Avoid the unhappy and unlucky.
I think
now, like I said, keep in mind that he's not saying that the people who are like this through misfortune,
right?
No control, right? These are people who we feel that bring that into their life.
Sometimes you just gotta love people from a distance, especially when it's somebody that you're close to.
Right.
I could have so much love for you, but if you constantly like just have a negative attitude and you have that negative energy, I love you, but I'm not gonna associate the way I would with somebody that, you know, is I guess not doing better in life, but like has a better attitude and outlook.
Well, isn't that kind of doing better in life, though?
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
I don't want to say doing better.
Yeah, right. You don't want to make it materialistic,
right?
Right. But to me, like mentally, that is doing better.
Right.
Because mental health, you know, 2018 Black Bottom Man Radio Show, we were doing mental health. Yeah, that is a way of doing better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's just some people that are just unhappy in their life and just been unhappy for 20 years and might be unhappy another 20, and you just don't want that around you.
So I'm going to shake this up a little bit, right? Because it's the last show. So, ladies, do y'all feel that as like women, that y'all might deal with this with other women more than men do? Now, let me tell you why I say that. Because, okay, 30 seconds. So I'll pose this and then we'll get to it when we come back in. But like I've heard people say before that some women find it very difficult to be happy for other women if they're not happy. We're going to leave it right there. We'll be back, Black Bottom Man Radio Show. I want to see what they think about this. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Samantha can have that 1 second.
Check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired Radio Show. So, since we're talking about the book, can you give people a synopsis of what the book is and what's the name of the book again, and then what it's about?
The name of the book is From Trial to Afflictions. More than one, because there were more than one afflictions.
Yes.
The book is talking about, actually, it's my life story. And I have to add in there that when that prophet told me, he said, tell your story, write the story. He said, and God said, tell your addiction. Now, see, I'm not going to tell the addiction because you have to get the book to read it. But it was about deliverance. It was about all the, trials and tribulations we go through. People that come into our life, even people that come to try and break you down or draw you down so that you can't stand for God or worship Him through your situation, because that's the adversary using them. We have to know that. But through it all, I was still praying and fasting. I needed help from God. I really did. I needed help from God to see me through. And for anyone that's going through, I say that this book is about different afflictions.
Yes.
Going through them, how you get through them. And I had a sister pushing me too, praying for me. I thank God for that again.
Yes.
But it also talks about deliverance. There is deliverance in the process.
Yes.
And you have to be willing to see yourself first, to know that you need deliverance.
Yeah.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on Be Exposed Radio.
I read about.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back everybody to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We are doing part 2 of the 48 Laws of Power. So I had posed the question to the ladies in regards to law number 10, which is infection, avoid the unhappy and unlucky. So the question to the ladies was, do you ladies feel that like women might have to deal with this more than men when it comes to it? Because I've had women say that, you know, they don't think other women can be happy for a woman unless they're happy too. So I just want to get y'all take on that.
This is kind of easy.
It's kind of easy? Okay.
Because in women's situations, when women are happy, you don't have to really worry about avoiding the unhappy, because the unhappy avoids you.
Okay. All right.
Makes so. Put the bell on that, please.
You hit it.
The unhappy is going to
Okay.
avoid you because you're so happy.
Right.
You could be trying to catch up with that person all week and they just avoid you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Calls going to voicemail, all of that.
So, but what about like
They forgot your birthday.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But like, don't most women like have like at least one in the circle that everybody feels like, oh, she's not gonna like it, or she's not gonna want to.
That's why you don't tell everybody everything.
No,
like,
you
if
don't.
I'm happy in what I got going on, and I know Debbie Downer over here don't got nothing going on,
Okay.
she's the last person I'm gonna tell.
Can't include her.
No, because she's always gonna give you the negative and why you shouldn't do this and what's wrong with it and how she would do it, but we're not gonna ask her.
So you are applying law number 10, infection. You are avoiding the unhappy and unlucky.
Yep.
All right, that's what I wanted to know. Do we apply this? So that's my answer right there. Okay. So we do apply this. I know I definitely apply this. I didn't look at it in that way. I just looked at it like I guess from the energy perspective. You know, people, you know, you just feel like some people don't bring, you know what I mean, positive energy. So you might not, like, I got family members like that, you know, where I'm like, nah, man, his energy is just, it's never right. It's never right.
And then even with your close friends, you could give them an opportunity, because some of them don't know they being reckless.
Right.
There's a lot of people out here being reckless. That's just they don't. They're not aware of how reckless they are.
Nate, you got something?
This conversation is crazy because I'm still trying to avoid that book, but a lot of these points or bullet points or chapters or methods in this book I think it's the reason why our community, black community, is the way it is. We do avoid people that are going through, or whether they get to a reckless point where they don't see that they're destroying their lives and the lives around us. But if you don't take an opportunity to say these things, we just avoid people. So we don't tell people the truth. And these aren't people that we're just walking across on the street. This could be your mother or your best friend or your child. And we avoid them instead of telling them the truth. Now, after I tell you and you still continue to live reckless, I've done what I was supposed to do. Okay. I've done my job. But we avoid people without even connecting.
Without even making the attempt
and
to communicate with them.
Okay,
yeah. So it helps to clear your conscience as long as you know, look, I talked to him a couple times.
It's not even clearing your conscience. It's just being a good human being. Just
right, okay.
You know, tell your friend, like, every time we go out, I have friends like that. Like, they always have an issue with the amount of gratuity that was on there.
Right.
If you look at the bottom of the menu, you would have seen that after 4 people, they add on 20%. Or after 11 p.m., they add on 15%. You know, point that out. Like, I always say there's separate checks. So we don't even...
You ain't got to go through all that. Right.
But you don't just avoid people just because, you know, you don't like that. I think this idea of energy being, you know, bad or good, I think it's being overused. And it's an excuse for people to stay to themselves and away from people.
They use it as an excuse.
Right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I definitely see your point on that. Yeah, okay. I like that. Brother Nate, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so how do we feel overall about this? I think Nate made valid points. You know, that some people somebody's got to still reach out to these unhappy, you know, people. All of us can't take the route of, I just avoid them. Right? You know, like somebody got to take on that, you know, like he said, as a human and saying, well, I'm trying to relate to them and school them on a few things.
You give them an opportunity to try to change.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. So that is law. What was that? Law 10? Yeah, that was law number 10. Okay, so we got through the first 10. Now, what I did after this was I just hand selected some other laws, because it's 48 laws, you know. So we went through the first 10, but I picked a few so that way we can see some of the ones that are in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s, right? So we're going to bump to law number 16. So law number 16 says, use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much circulation makes the price go down. The more you are seen and heard from, the more common you appear. If you are already established in a group, temporary withdrawal from it will make you more talked about and even more admired. You must learn when to leave. Create value through security. Okay, that's interesting. Keys to power. Everything in the world depends on absence or presence. A strong presence will draw power and attention to you. You shine more brightly than those around you. But a point is inevitably reached where too much presence creates the opposite effect. The more you are seen and heard from, the more your value degrades. You become a habit. No matter how hard you try to be different, subtly, without you knowing why, people respect you less and less. At the right moment, you must learn to withdraw yourself before they unconsciously push you away. It is a game of hide and seek. Now, this might sound corny, right? But when I read this law, I thought about Jay-Z. Because Jay-Z bowed out at the top of his game. I'm sure he was applying this law. Now, the reason why I say I'm sure is because he came back. You understand what I'm saying?
Like 5 times.
Right, exactly. So he, you know, and when you look at, you know, who he is as a businessman, I'm sure he knows about that law. So what do you guys think about that? Have you ever did that? Can you think of situations where someone else might have done that? Saying appearing on the scene too much it makes you normal.
And you were with Jordans.
With Jordans?
Like they re-released it. They only put a limited number amount.
Oh yeah.
And then
they're building supply and demand on that.
Right, but it gets you the same example of not everybody has it. It only comes up every now and again, but they're wanted because they're very limited.
Okay, now I want to play the devil's advocate here, right? Because that's a product. Okay, so I want to hear it from the human side. You know, a human bowing out. But before you guys answer, we're gonna take another commercial break, and you guys can let me know if you know of any examples of this. So stay tuned. We'll be back. Black Bottom Man Radio Show.
There's a rumor going around that Tyler Perry and Oprah are beefing. Well, let me tell you about this. Tyler, told Oprah, bitch, if you don't have my money, we're going to have a problem. Ooh. Oprah said, what is the problem? Ooh. You said if I don't have your money, there was going to be a problem. So Oprah is standing her ground like, bitch, I'm in charge. You know, you may have a $250 million studio over there that you film all your shows and movies and stuff on, but I have the empire. That's what Oprah said.
Oh, these are her exact words. Allegedly.
I made this up. But
allegedly.
I made it all up. But there was a rumor that they were beefing. But Tyler confirms that they don't have any issues. So it says it was recently reported on the rumors that was swirling that the twosome were on the outs over constructive criticism of a Perry's show. Well, I got some constructive criticism, and we can be on the outs, Tyler, and I don't give a damn, because I'm going to make a promo out of this anyway and share it to your page. I need the scenes on Have and Have-Nots to be like 5% shorter, each one. I want you to watch an episode of The Young and the Restless, because this is supposed to be a soap opera. No one's dialogue on The Young and the Restless is like this.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Black Bottom Man Radio Show. So we are going over law number 16, which says, use absence to increase respect and honor. How do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about bowing out when there's really no rhyme and reason to it? Now, it's easy to bow out of a situation when you don't like somebody or you don't like who's running it. You know what I mean? You ain't really feeling the group. But what about when you Gucci with everything and you just say, you know what, I'm about to bow out and increase, my presence through my absence. I've never done that consciously, right? Mm-hmm. But what do you guys think about that law?
I guess it depends on the situation, because you can't just disappear from work for a month or two and come back like, hey, how's everybody been?
Well, he gave an example of like, I guess like being a part of a group. Like say you and your work crew, every other Friday y'all go out for drinks afterwards, right? It becomes a regular thing, right? And everybody's enjoying it and having fun. And then all of a sudden you just stop showing up. So he's saying that creates an air of, whatever.
That makes sense. I mean,
right?
A person
disappearing. Like I said, I thought about Jay-Z because Jay-Z, and when I look at, like people in the limelight, like Jay-Z's not the only person I've seen do that. I've seen other people just gracefully bow out for a while. You know what I mean? And of course, everybody say, oh, well, they kind of on hiatus because they taking a long vacation or whatever. But what if they really was just playing this game?
I think it's just for attention. Like, you say you're retiring, and then 2 years later you come up with this album, how to retire.
Right, I'm back.
Guess who's back?
Yeah, guess who's back type thing. So Jay-Z's who popped in my mind. Anybody, y'all have any examples of someone doing this, or do you think you could do it? Or?
Wouldn't that only work if you hold value to that group of people?
I guess either you hold value to that group, or at least somebody in that group.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You want somebody to realize that you're going.
Yeah, because
what happens if you bow out and they never even notice it?
Like, thank God. We
7 weeks later.
It has to be a big deal for you to say that you're bowing out. It has to be like, oh my God, he said he's retiring. And then when he comes back, oh my God, he's back out of retirement. It has to be like on both ends.
Well, I think with Jay-Z, he definitely said it, right? But I think with this, say for instance, like with the group we talking about, right? I think he's saying don't even say nothing. Just stop showing up.
Well, I've been in situations.
And then make them come to you like, hey, Janice, you haven't been in the past 2 Fridays. Yeah, you okay? Everything okay?
I've been in situations where a person, come back after being gone for a while and be like, did everybody miss me? And be like, I didn't even know you were gone.
Right. See, if you have to ask that question, right? Nobody probably missed you. Okay. I kind of like it. I've never consciously done it, but I see how that could promote a certain air of mystery. Like what's going on with that person. You know what I mean? Everybody want to, start speculating.
And I've watched it happen too, because I've been on vacation. I'll go on vacation sometimes and be gone like 2 weeks, and I'll come back and yes, folks will be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're back. Like, where you been?" Okay. So, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, like I said,
can understand it a little bit.
I don't have a consciousness of doing it, but I like it. I see how it could work. What about you, Jason?
So I guess I must be important.
I think it definitely works, but it only works if you hold value in the group, meaning someone cares about you or that you bring you fun. But if you just, again, kind of goes back to his law being important. I see it. I'm in and out with his contradiction.
Definitely
it goes back to get attention at all costs a little bit. So like if you don't stand out or people in the group don't value you, then it really doesn't matter. So
it don't.
So
yeah, he says the more you are seen and heard from, your value degrades. I guess because you're not rare. You know what I mean? Like you're not rare. You there all the time, right? Yeah, you ain't that precious gem. All right, I do like that one though. I don't know if I would ever apply it, but I like it. Okay, well let's keep it moving. Law number 19: know who you are dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Now that's good. He says there are many different kinds of people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will reach your strategies in the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver some people, and they will spend the rest of their lives seeking revenge. There are wolves in lamb's clothing. Choose your victims and opponents carefully, then never offend or deceive the wrong person. Keys to power. The ability to measure people and to know who you're dealing with is the most important skill of all in gathering and conserving power. Without it, you are blind. Not only will you offend the wrong people, the wrong person, you will choose the wrong types to work on. and you will think that you are flattering people when you are actually insulting them. Before embarking on any move, take the measure of your mark or potential opponent. Otherwise, you will waste time and make mistakes. Study people's weakness, the kinks in their armor, the areas of both pride and insecurity. Know their ins and outs before you even decide whether or not to deal with them. Now that's good. That's real good. Because you do have to know who you're dealing with.
That's what I was saying earlier. When you just think you're going to be crossing people, I said, go ahead and
try. Right, yeah, you're right.
Give them credit.
You're right. You did say that.
Because they just going to be looking at you like.
Right. And he said some people, they'll spend the rest of their life seeking revenge on you.
Oh, my God. Definitely don't offend the wrong person.
Don't offend the wrong person.
Oh, my gosh.
So how do you prevent that? He says you got to know the ins and outs before you decide who you're going to deal with. So you got to learn about them. You know what I mean? Before you just jump up and think you're going to do anything or say anything.
Got an example.
Mm-hmm.
These children today are lost, right? Because they text. Can you ever really know anybody through text, even with an emoji?
Right, true.
It's impossible. Maybe it's impossible. So these laws, technology-wise, can they even apply them?
Right.
Because they don't even... So it's as simple as you may talk to a person on the phone all the time, right? And you may not even like them over the phone, but when you get in person with them, you're like, oh, they're all right, they're pretty cool. Well, okay, I didn't know this person did this, because you have to spend quality time with the person, even if that's just taking them out for a drink or a dinner to get to know them and get them to open up.
Right.
Even phone conversation, text, you'll never really know what you're really dealing with.
True.
So,
Yeah, you definitely got to know who you're dealing with. I mean, I've had situations like that before. Fortunately, I didn't offend the person. But the point that I'm making is I had dealt with that person multiple times, and then later on found out that they was somebody that I didn't know that's who they was. You know what I mean? So it worked out for me because I reflected on it like, oh, shit, I'm glad I didn't, say this or say that. You know what I mean? I didn't know he owned that, but it's just, so I've been in that situation. I just didn't say the wrong thing because you never know who you are dealing with. That is very, very true. Any examples, Miss Janice?
I don't have any examples.
Well, what do you think about that law?
I think you definitely have to be careful who you offend. I definitely believe you can't offend the wrong person.
I think Bill Cosby offended the wrong person.
Oh, gosh, you make an enemy for life.
Yeah, like when they put him through all that, he offended somebody. He offended the wrong person. And they put him through hell.
And then you're really in trouble if your enemy is skilled. That's
Right.
That's what I'm getting at. No, that's what I'm getting at. Because you think your little temporary power you may have if you got something. And like I said, that one person may be more skilled than you.
That's right.
But you don't know them because your perception of them is that they're not skilled. But even how they look, how they dress, anything.
Right.
Even by their demeanor. Oh, they're passive, so I can take advantage of. They might not even be passive. They may just be watching.
Right. Right.
Waiting for that moment to strike.
Yeah.
Watching you. Oh my gosh. 24 hours, 7 days a week. And you're going to make a mistake.
She's got something in her head. She's thinking about.
Right.
So.
I think about that Oprah situation when she was in Paris. And they wouldn't let her look at the purse for $30,000. Y'all don't remember that was a big deal?
She got $3 billion in the bank.
Yeah. When Oprah went to Paris and she wanted to see a particular purse, and the purse cost like $30,000.
That's like $3.
And they told her they wasn't even opening the case to pull it out for her. You can't afford that. And they had no idea that they didn't know it was Oprah.
They don't have a job. They couldn't have a job no more.
See?
Right.
Know who you dealing with, right? So, of course, once the manager found out and all that, like Oprah damn near shut that whole town down. I think Paris was closed for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So again, you don't know who you dealing with. Yeah, $30,000 purse. Oprah probably like, girl, I got that on the floor in my car. Go get this change up real quick.
She probably wasn't even looking at it for her. It's probably a donation she was giving.
Matter of fact, don't quote me, but I think she might have said that she wasn't even going to buy it. She just wanted to look at it. But she was just offended at the fact that they just naturally assumed, we're not even wasting our time with you. You know what I mean?
Even open the case.
Yeah, we're not even opening the case. Yeah, that's so. Yeah, know who you're dealing with. All right, so we like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go back to 13. We'll backtrack here. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. If you need to turn to an ally for help, Do not bother to remind him or her of your past assistance and good deeds. They will find a way to ignore you. Instead, uncover something in your request or in your alliance with that person that will benefit him or her and emphasize it out of all ill proportion. He will respond enthusiastically when he sees something to be gained for himself.
So this really works. They say, I read somewhere this works in business. So most people want to inquire about something, right? But they want to either talk about them or talk about what they can do. But like, let's say that person had 4 articles out there. And you say, yeah, my name is Jason, blah, blah. Nice to meet you. You know, I was reading one of your articles. Now they're saying, oh, yeah. Oh, see, now you've opened up something, because now they probably feel great that they wrote these articles, and now you're opening up about what's in the article, versus you just saying me, help me,
right,
me,
right.
People usually don't respond to that.
They don't respond well.
Yeah.
So here's his keys to power. He says, in your quest for power, you will constantly find yourself in the position of asking for help from those more powerful than you. There is an art in asking for help. An art that depends on your ability to understand the person you are dealing with and not to confuse your needs with theirs. Most people never succeed at this because they are completely trapped in their own wants and desires. They start from the assumption that the people they are appealing to have a selfless, I guess, manner in helping them. They talk as if their needs mattered to those people who probably couldn't care less. Sometimes they refer to larger issues, a great cause, or grand emotions such as love and gratitude. They go for the big picture when simple, everyday realities would have much more appeal. What they do not realize is that even the most powerful person is locked inside needs of his own, and that if you make no appeal to his self-interest, he merely sees you as desperate or at best a waste of time. Wow. I did not know that. I did not know that. What do y'all think about that? Don't appeal to, through pity or whatever.
Yeah, you do have to watch how you ask for things.
Don't appeal to their mercy or gratitude.
Yeah, you can come off desperate.
Right. Okay.
And plus, why would they? So you're emailing me, right? And you just email me all this stuff about you. I don't know you from a hole in the wall. You're asking for something. And now it's basically you're just, oh, I need this, I need this, I need that, I need this. And I'm like, I don't even know you. But if you, hey, how you doing? Oh, I saw some work that you were doing. I really like that type of stuff, and I'm also involved in. Now their ears are open because that's what they do.
Right.
So you can't really. That law is good, and that's one I'm even going to use, because you can't do that. That's actually bad business practice. But it goes back to the long conversation. But again, I looked at that video that said if you're going to talk about you, people are not going to be interested.
No, they're not.
Like when you're famous, you can talk about you, because that's already been established. But even if they're asking for something, it's usually you got to show the other party how they can benefit also.
True. Yeah.
Because other than that, why are they doing it? So they can go their way and do all this for you, and they just gonna be sitting back.
You always gotta appeal to what will benefit me as well as what you're asking me to do. I'm not just gonna take time out of my day to help you out if it's not gonna in some way benefit what I have going on.
Absolutely.
9 times out of 10, that's the first question people ask is,
like,
what's in it for me?
I had somebody ask me to like switch shifts at work, and she was like, when she walked into me, I knew she was gonna ask me something. She's like, can I ask you? I said no, but it's gonna help you out too. Also, then now you have my ear because I want to hear what you're gonna offer me that's gonna benefit me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that was interesting. Again, it's nothing I ever applied before in my life, but I think it's knowledge.
That's a really good law, though.
Yeah, you like that, huh? Okay. So that's law number 13.
Especially for business.
Okay. Have to keep that in mind, Jason.
So when you go in and ask the big man for a raise, then what do you tell him is in it for him? Then how can you get that raise through?
You show him how you can benefit him more. And so you look at his wants and needs, and then you appeal to that. Because if you don't appeal to that, you're just sitting there just talking, and he's going, all right, well, nice to see you. See you next week when you clock in. That's all he's gonna do. But you got to appeal to. I took this interview class, like, for when I was last semester, and they were saying like, you should always bring notes to an interview if you're not a business owner, you're going for a job, and you should tell them what you can offer them.
Yeah. Right, that's
point
true.
Blank
Yeah,
period.
right.
And
Definitely.
she's like, most likely you'll get the
It
job.
shows value in yourself.
It shows value. So that's exactly what
Letting
you have
them
to
know,
do.
I can bring something to your company.
Interview question: what can you bring to this company? What can you add to the?
Yeah, but people don't take it serious enough.
They
But
don't.
they really pay attention to that.
Right, yeah.
So like, if you know your company needs, if you have experience in this particular area and they need help building something new, or they have this weakness, I hate to say, even if you can't do it, just bring it up.
Yeah, bring it up. Bring it up.
Just bring it up and act like you can.
That's right. Fake it till you make it.
And get on a YouTube video and try to learn something.
Right.
Before you go in on Monday.
Okay, so we're going to give someone else a chance with the same trivia question to win a sweatshirt. So anybody that's listening, this is our last show for 2017. So we've already given away one BBD hoodie. So we're going to give you guys a chance to get another one. We're going to give away another one. So we will pose the question once again. The trivia question is, what does Black by Demand stand for? If you have an answer for it, call in 410-702-5657. That's 410-702-5657. And tell us what Black by Demand stands for, and you can win a hoodie. It'd be nice to give away one more. All right, 1 minute. All right, let's do the next one. Law 25. Recreate yourself. I like this one. Do not accept the roles that society foists on you. Recreate yourself by forging a new identity, one that commands attention and never bores the audience. Be the master of your own image rather than letting others define it for you. Incorporate dramatic devices into your public gestures and actions. Your power will be enhanced and your character will be seen larger. So, Law 25, recreate yourself. We're going to discuss that right after this break. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Black by Demand Radio Show.
Hey, there's my son. You've been in your room all morning.
Hey, Dad.
Matt, what's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong with my voice.
Oh, well, it's just sort of.
I have been playing my video games and electronic games for so many hours.
Uh-huh. Well, it sounds like it might be time for you to take a break, or...
Hello, Dad.
Susan?
I have been watching TV and text messaging all morning. Yay, electronics. Yay, yay, yay.
Guys, I think it's about time to get in the car and take a little trip. Maybe see some trees, some green things.
What are these green things you speak of?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Get out to the forest and discover the wonders of nature with your family, just like Blue, Jewel, and the whole Rio flock.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo!
Let's rock this jungle.
Yeah!
Fresh air.
What a glorious morning.
Clean water.
Woohoo! This is great!
And endless surprises.
Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing.
Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
You are not going to
Then what you're believe going to do is turn Marcy onto Marcy
and Brad
Avenue.
just broke up,
and go past the first
apparently
3
she's
lights
happy
and then
about
take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
then drive
think
5
she's
more
happy,
blocks
but
and you should be
who
there.
am I to judge, right?
Park on the
Anyway,
right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
back. All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are at the last end of the Black Body Man radio show. It is the last show for 2017. So we wanted to offer the last opportunity for someone else to win a Black Body Man sweatshirt, hoodie. So the question is, what does Black Body Man stand for? If you feel you have an answer to that, call in 410-702-5657. That's 410-702-5657. The question on the floor, what does Black Body Man stand for? All right, so we was at Law 25, which is recreate yourself. How do you guys feel about recreating yourself? We'll just run through these last couple. Yay or nay?
Yeah.
Yay? All right. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. I'll read this one. Your actions must seem natural and excited with ease. All the toil and practice that go into them and all of the clever tricks must be concealed. When you act effortlessly, as if you could do much more. Avoid the temptation of revealing how hard you work. It only raises questions. Teach no one your tricks or they will be used against you. Ooh. That one's a little, I don't know. That's a little slick right there. You know, it's a little slick one. What y'all think about that one?
Why, you gonna stop teaching now?
Nah, I'm a teacher. You're a philosopher? Yes. Y'all like that one? Make your accomplishments seem effortless?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We cool with that? All right. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. If you make a show of going against the times, flaunting your unconventional ideals and unorthodox ways, people will think that you only want attention and that you look down upon them. They will find a way to punish you for making them feel inferior. It is far safer to blend in and nurture the common touch. Share your originality only with share your originality only with tolerant friends and those who are sure to appreciate your uniqueness. And that is law, what number was that? 38. Think as you like, behave like others. We don't like?
Well, I agree.
Agree? Jason?
I agree, but to a certain, like, if you, like 40, don't be hanging out with 19-year-olds wearing what they wear, looking crazy.
Right.
You know, so, it's still, you got to use your common sense with the rule.
Yeah, I've been, excuse me. I've been a victim of this before because I've been around people before and started, like, speaking some knowledge. Didn't go over well. Didn't go over well at all. So, you know, I had to learn that. Like, yeah, I can think the way I think, but if I get here and they just, you know, I guess on some entertainment type timing, that's where I stay at.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, absolutely.
That's where I stay at. So I think that was true.
If you're in a group, come every day and speaking knowledge and
they don't want to hear that.
They're kicking you out.
They don't want to hear that. Black people allergic to knowledge.
That's
another subject.
What are you talking about?
All right, Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Okay, that kind of fits that one.
Yep. That's just, I ain't even got to say nothing on that.
It says no one likes feeling stupider. Is stupider a word? That's not a word, is it? He had that in that book, stupider. Okay, no one likes feeling stupid, I'm going to say. No, he says stupider than the next person. The trick then is to make your victims feel smart, and not just smart, but smarter than you. Once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you may have ulterior motives. Now, I know a person that does that, because they even got me over the years. They did. I thought this person just really wasn't that bright. That's what I thought. Turns out I was dead ass wrong. They were so bright that they convinced me that they wasn't bright. So, again, I've never done that, but people do it. People do it.
Putting your weakness on display.
Yeah.
You always should be wary of that.
Yeah, right. And I just didn't have that knowledge. You know what I mean? I just thought that person was like, I'm like, nah, man. They not that bright. You know what I mean? And then one day we had a conversation, and the person told me, like, yeah, well, you know, I do that on purpose. I'm like, do what? You know, act like I'm dumb. I felt like a Lifetime movie, like, are you serious? You are good. 'Cause I thought She was dumb as a bag of bricks.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
you should be an actor.
Yeah, it was a Lifetime movie, bro. I was like, are you serious? Yeah, so people do it. People do it.
He said no.
All right, Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. The ending is everything. Plan all the way to it. Taking into account all the possible consequences, obstacles, and twists of fortune that might reverse your hard work and give the glory to others. By planning to the end, you will not be overwhelmed by circumstances, and you will know when to stop. Gently guide fortune and help determine the future by thinking far ahead. I am definitely not good at that.
You have to be consciously
Yeah.
present in every moment with unflinching focus.
And I'm not good at
no,
that.
seriously, to do that, to play to the end, like you can't. The focus, and you have to be conscious of that's your focus.
Right.
You just have to be present.
You got to anticipate.
Yeah.
You know, things that can happen. How do you do that?
The level of thinking that goes into that.
Yeah.
You talking about with life players? That's
some high level stuff.
That's high level skill right there.
The people that sit at the top definitely do
and there
that.
are people who probably listen and say, "Well, I can do that." It's like, can you really?
Right.
Because that's high level. You got to get up, have your oatmeal at 7, and your 3 bananas and your juice. You got to be focused.
You got to be super focused. Super focused.
And have discipline. But
so we'll do one more. So I did this one. This is actually Law 48. So I think this will also explain, like I was saying earlier, how to deal with this book. Now, think about all the laws that we have gone over. And we didn't go over all of them. We went over a fair amount of them, right? Mm-hmm. And how it's telling people to operate, right? Mm-hmm. But then listen to the final law. Assume formlessness. Now, how can that be after all these goddamn laws that we didn't went over that you're supposed to be doing? Now, at the end, you're going to tell me to be formlessness, right? Mm-hmm. So he says, taking a shape, by having a visible plan, you open yourself up to attack. Instead of taking a form for your enemy to grasp, keep yourself unadaptable and on the move. Accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes. Now that's some Bruce Lee shit. It is. But some Bruce Lee shit. Bruce Lee was quoted for saying, be formless. Be like water.
But you know how this would translate
water
into the real world?
The shape of anything that is in it. This is what you should be, my friend. Mm-hmm. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to deal with a hard life. Bruce Lee. That's where he got this from. I'm telling you real stuff. Yeah. Bruce Lee's who brought this forward, bruh. The whole formlessness.
If you're not good at this, you'll come off if you translate this into reality, you'll come off as wishy-washy.
Right.
And that you bounce around and just trying to get, I would almost say like a user, because you're trying to get stuff, and what are you doing? Your formlessness, right? This is my thing. And so you're running around being so if
you're adapting to everything.
You're adapting to everything. And that's that'll throw off your concept of reality a little bit.
You're a shapeshifter.
Yeah, for real life.
You a shapeshifter. Okay, so ladies, how y'all feel about that? Assume formlessness. What's going on with y'all today?
Okay.
End of the year? All right, well, that's going to do it anyway, man. That's the last one, Law 48, Assume Formlessness. For those who checked out the show, feel free to check out the 48 Laws of Power. Again, it's just a book that we thought would be interesting to have a couple shows on. It seems that we probably really don't even support most of these laws. They deal with a little bit of deception, but we appreciate everybody turning in. So this is it. This is ball game, man. 2017. This is the last show. So we'll be back in 2018 on January 8th, I believe it is. So we'll be back, but we're going to be on break, and everybody enjoy their holiday break. We'll be back in January with more of the Black by the Man radio show. I want to thank all my guests, Miss Samantha, Nicole, Dennis. Can you show them the sweatshirt again? Yeah, so that's the BBD sweatshirts, man. Somebody won one of those today. Anybody interested in getting one, email blackbydemand4u@gmail.com. That's blackbydemand, the letter 4, the number 4, the letter U @gmail. So also I want to thank Mr. Jason Gomes. Appreciate you hanging out with us, Jason.
Mike.
And last but not least, the lovely Miss Janice.
You're welcome.
I want to thank my audience for tuning in with us for 18 shows, man. It's an honor to bring this forward for people to hear our perspective on things and have conversations that we think are relevant. And we love that you guys have enjoyed us and give us a few likes here and there. So until next year, I'm your boy, Brother Mike. This is the Black Body Man Radio Show. Everybody enjoy the holiday, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye. You already know. Black side. Peace. Bye.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna miss it.
I mean, I always talk about something.